whoa, I would have never ever known that you were going through that. A quick video about why you should never idolize social media influencers, why you should never be jealous of content creators, why you should never compare your life to anybody's. Hey, it's Nessa. Welcome back to my YouTube channel with these sit down videos. If I do say so myself, I'm quite proud of myself. But I was just thinking lately about how long I've been creating content. I've been a content creator for 9 years now. And I was just thinking about all of the things that have gone on in my life. Kind of touched on some of those in the last video that I uploaded just to getting to know me more. I actually came across somebody else's video who is just starting out content creation. She was telling her story about how she went through so much to where she is now. And I know this person. We're not super close or anything like that, but I know them, and I was like, whoa, I would have never ever known that you were going through that. And like she said in her video, because of the way that she posts about her life. And you know, of course, we all say social media is a highlight reel, Instagram's a highlight reel. It is. We upload our best moments. We upload the moments that we want people to see. We curate the life that we want to share. But so much of life happens behind the scenes. So much life is happening in real time. There has been times where I have posted on my Instagram, on my TikTok, on my stories, a trip, whether I'm currently on the trip, usually I post when I've already left, or back home. You would think that I live this life of beautiful adventures, happiness, peace, living in my purpose. You'd have no idea that there were many times I was posting travel content and I was crying. I was wondering if I should still be here on earth. I was begging somebody to come and spend time with me because I was so lonely. Usually meant that I fell into the arms, willingly fell into the arms of a very handsome man, but who was emotionally unavailable, emotionally useless. And it's just so interesting. And I was like, this is something I need to talk about because I'm trying to be the most authentic version of myself, which I'm realizing means being vulnerable in hopes that it will connect with somebody else. I'm so sniffy because of the weather. With my social media, I always used to say I cannot post anything else on my feed apart from travel. Like, even if I just go out for dinner with a friend and get a nice picture, if it didn't fit in my feed, I wouldn't do it. If it was something about like happy birthday to my sister or my mom or whatever when my mom was still alive, I just would choose not to post it. Stories, yeah, stories I feel like are way more chill, personal. But my feed, I was always like, no, I can't. Ever since I really started being intentional about creating content, I started to realize this is actually silly. This doesn't even make sense. I am on social media and I am purposely hiding parts of my life. And they weren't parts I was ashamed of. I just had it in my mind that I had to only post travel content, and now I just want to post whatever the hell I want to post. And it's funny because my engagement is less when I don't post travel content, but I don't care. It feels so superficial and fake to come on social media, which I do love. I enjoy it. It's changed my life in so many ways. But to come on and post knowing that I've gone through the hardest 4 years of my life just feels really artificial. So anyway, I wanted to just give a quick video about why you should never idolize social media influencers, why you should never be jealous of content creators, why you should never compare your life to anybody's. We know that comparison is the thief of joy, and you may be looking at someone's body, wishing that you had theirs without knowing that they've had surgery or edited their pictures. Or it's their natural body, but you don't know the deprivation that they go through and the stress and the shame that they go through to have that body. You may look at someone's content, their travel content, and think, wow, they're so rich. If it's me, couldn't be more far from the truth, especially the past few years. I will say before I continue that I really recommend everyone to curate their social media in a way that benefits you and makes you feel good about yourself. So I'm really intentional about liking posts that I enjoy. I try to only like funny stuff, like animal videos, because you know I'm a big animal lover. Educational videos that don't feel like they're telling me what to do. If I see something that makes me feel bad about myself, it could just be someone's body, you know. Let's be real as women, if we see someone's body who we think is better than ours, comparison's the thief of joy, and then we want to follow that person. We want to see what that person's doing all the time. We might think it's motivation, but realistically, no matter what you do, you may not have the exact body like that person, because genetically we're all made up differently. If seeing somebody makes you feel bad about yourself or makes you spiral, someone's looks, someone's car, someone's house, someone's job, unfollow. Click on the little dots or whatever it is and click not interested. Like, I'm so intentional about that because I want social media to be a part of my life in a positive way. Tell the algorithm, I don't want to see it. It's at a point now where, for the most part, when I'm on social media, everything I see is pretty positive. It's like 80% positive. There's always that 20% bullshit. Anyway, I say all that to say, if you see someone on social media that you feel inspired by, you're jealous of, or you just compare your life to, it doesn't always have to be jealousy or envy. I'ma guarantee you, more times than not, at one point or other, when you were following them, when they posted, they were going through something and you just didn't know. People want to hear about the struggle when it's over, but during the moment, nobody wants to see someone cry on social media, because people are like, why are you picking up a camera when you're crying? It's hard for people to like almost console people on social media who are going through something, because they want to come on social media to feel good. So I'm going to give 5 examples of times where I was posting on social media and I was suffering behind the scenes. I'm not saying that what I post on my social media is not real. It is me, it's a part of me. But you can also be posting things and be suffering, having a shit time. Wipe the tears off the phone as you are posting. So just in general, most of my travels from the age of 18 up until, honestly, last year, I was broke. I've always had jobs and we're working, but you know, there's like a level of financial stability that I never really had until last year, now that I live in DC. Until then, money would come and go. My business was really successful at one point and then it wasn't. Just in general, that's one thing. I've posted many trips where I've been broke. There's been times where I've stayed in luxury accommodation as well and, you know, went broke for it. But most of the time I was at least responsible with that. I was never staying in a place that was $300 a night when I couldn't afford it. Like, I just wouldn't do that. The other thing, which is something that I think a lot of people would not know about me, and I guess I could talk about in another video, is that particularly from August 2023 all the way to December 2023, I was fighting an eviction case. I had to go to court and plead my case as to why I shouldn't be evicted. He did rule in the landlord's favour, which is fine. I expected it because I did breach my lease. I hadn't paid my rent in 2 months. Actually, I hadn't paid my rent in 3 months, and my building was really nice. The leasing manager, she actually tried to work with me, but I just didn't have the money. I was in extreme debt, and that wasn't just for student loans, which is crazy too. It was other debt. And again, this is just a whole other video, which I have been wanting to make about that, and just how I'm where I am now and where I was before. Nobody knew that. A lot of my family and friends didn't know that I was dealing with an eviction case until like somewhat recently I've started telling people. So if you're one of my close people in my life, you didn't know this. The reason I didn't share was because I was ashamed. It's very embarrassing to be dealing with eviction in a country that you're not from. Like, I went to the US to do my master's degree on a scholarship. I still had to pay some of my tuition, and suddenly I just couldn't afford to live anywhere, like at all, which is also why I ended up being homeless in 2024 and staying at my friend's place for a few months, because I realized that when my lease ended I would have no money to stay anywhere and I needed to keep looking for a job. And yeah, but at that time I was facing eviction and I was posting content from the Italy Thailand group trip that I'd hosted a few months before. And when I went to Zanzibar in December 2023, which was my second group trip to Zanzibar that I hosted, I was really going through it. I had just graduated from my master's degree, like submitted my final papers. I never celebrated it, had no money to, didn't even want to talk about the year that I just had. I just remember being on that group trip telling the girls like this has been the hardest year of my life, and most people just didn't even know. Like, my best friend was with me there at that time, and I think I had only just told her that I've been fighting an eviction case. I managed to pay off the back rent and they removed the eviction record, but only because I figured out a way to have time. Like I had to pay my rent to the courts after, instead of paying my rent to the leasing office. And my building was actually really nice. Like they tried their hardest. They knew I didn't have any parents, people that could help me like that. And I looked at like rental assistance programs, which funnily enough, I got accepted to. My building rejected it. So I'm like, you're trying to help me out. Like you're being patient with me. But when I finally find a program that's telling you they will pay 2 months back rent, you refuse to accept it. What is wrong with capitalism? Anyway, that whole situation is a whole other video. But again, I was posting during that time, and just even since then, before then, you never know that I was dealing with that. Even as recent as 2024, posting about my graduation. I went to my graduation ceremony in May and it was amazing. Like I was so happy. I got to go. My sister flew in from the UK and I had some friends there, and it was just really great. After finishing my degree in December in a really stressful way, like really just understand what had happened in that year. Then I had to go to the UK for my grandma's funeral. And then I knew that I was coming into 2024 homeless. Like going to my graduation ceremony was a moment for me where I really felt like I'm proud of myself. Like I can breathe, I'm proud of myself. And I was about to start my job that I do now at that time. So I just knew things were getting better, like I had persevered. But even then at my graduation ceremony, but nobody knows that one of the reasons why I was so worried I couldn't go to my graduation ceremony, I had unpaid tuition that the university was asking me about because it was coming up to like, I think 7 or 8 months that I had last paid any tuition to them, and they were saying that they were going to pass it to a debt collector. So I graduated. I'm able to say I'm a Master of Public Policy. I did the ceremony, wasn't able to get my transcripts till I paid off the final tuition. It was only 1 semester left of tuition. Like I managed to pay myself 3 semesters of tuition, which is not fucking easy when you're an international student. Like I said, my scholarship was great, but it still left me with a large chunk to pay myself. But anyway, at that time, I thought I wasn't going to be able to go to my graduation ceremony because I didn't pay for my tuition fee and because they couldn't give me my transcript. This is shit that you don't see. People post on social media. You don't even have to be a content creator. You just see somebody post on social media about their graduation. Now obviously you can go to your graduation ceremony if you have passed your tuition. You just can't get your diploma. But at that time, like imagine that fear and anxiety that somebody has thinking, damn, I really want to go and celebrate this, but I don't know. Honestly, just for the past 4 years I have been posting on social media, particularly, I have been dealing with grief since the loss of my mum. I have been dealing with extreme loneliness after the loss of my mum, moving to another country and just spiraling. I was drowning in my grief to the point that I felt like if I didn't constantly escape where I had just moved to escape home and grief, I wanted to now escape the new place all the time, because I just didn't know how to deal with how I was feeling. And I just felt like if I do what I know best, which is travel, and I just mask my feelings and my pain in travel and have a good time and post on social media, it will be fine, it will be great. And it's like, that's not real life. And so I feel like it's really important to just remember when you see people on social media, and if you're envying them, they are not always living in the way that their posts portray. I've been so incredibly sad and depressed the last few years, and I literally only just got out of that in like mid last year. That's some real shit, and I'm only sharing this because this is some shit that we really have to keep in mind. Like I do not idolize anyone's life now. Me trying to lose weight right now, my motivation is looking at how I used to look and thinking about the future healthy person that I want to. It ain't no celebrities, no gym influencer, no fitfluencer, no content creator, no nothing. It's me. Life and the income and the finances and the success in businesses that I want come from my faith and my determination and my desire, not from nobody else's. Because everyone has a story, and of course there's some people whose their life, hey, they don't have no wahala, they don't have no money problems, no relationship problems, no mental health problems. You know, the worst thing that happens in their day is they fucking bust their toe on the door. But the truth is that most people go through shit, and even the people who aren't going through shit, you comparing your life to them is crazy. They should inspire you. There's nothing wrong with being inspired by people, but they should not be the grounds from which you base your progress. Don't let other people's goals be your goal. Let your goal be your goal. I'm preaching! The last one I talk about is having a failed business. I was continuing doing my group trips that were initially a really successful business, by the way. Like it's a great business model, and I was successful at it at first, but they also caused my demise, like I kind of somewhat referred to in my last video. Honestly, any group trip after July 2023 group trips, I was in the worst place ever financially. That's a lie. The worst place ever financially was early 2024, but still, I was in a bad place. Stuff had happened with the group trip, with one person cancelling, that led to a whole fuck up trips. Even though I'd already been paid for the trips, I couldn't access the money. And so I'm on these trips, posting them, and my business is causing me extreme stress and anxiety. Prior to the Thailand group trip, I had my first panic attack I've ever had in my life. I've never been an extremely anxious person, but the stress that it was causing me. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this part, because I don't even know if I'm ready to talk about this part publicly. I was on these group trips, struggling, crying in my room. You would never know, because I was like, hey, the Sufu Travels, day one, we're in Thailand. So today the girls are gonna do this, that, we're gonna go see the elephants, we're gonna go to the beach. I wanted to leave the earth. I was so incredibly done with living at that point. I felt like there was no way out. You would never know. You would never know how dark things got for me. I am so grateful for the life that I've had thus far, all of the ups and downs. And traveling has been single-handedly one of the most impactful things that have happened to me, that I have given to myself. Like solo traveling especially has changed my life. I am naturally adventurous. I do have wanderlust. I do love to experience new cultures, new foods, new environments. I love putting myself out of my comfort zone. I genuinely love taking content. I love photo composition. I love colors. I love styling my outfits to a place that I'm traveling to. Say all that to say, do not ever idolize someone's life. Do not ever be jealous of someone's life, especially what they post on social media. And I feel like one of my biggest lessons I learned from all of that is that vulnerability is a strength, and it's okay to admit that life isn't perfect, and it's okay to discuss your flaws. It's okay to be real. Ultimately, I want to make sure that I am being the most authentic version of myself. I know I've said that phrase so many times, but genuinely that is why I'm on social media, the way I am on it now. Still posting travel, because travel will always be a part of me, but I realized somewhere in the middle how travel had become a crutch. Travel had become a form of escapism rather than a form of wanderlust. It's just so different. My mind was in such an unhealthy, deteriorating place that something needed to be done. And I'm glad to say that today I'm here sharing this with you guys, and I'm in such a great place. Like I said, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, I'm doing a lot better, and there's so much that has gone into getting to that point, which I'd love to share in another video, but that's really it. Just please always remember that comparison is the thief of joy. Remember that you need to be your only competition. You're not in competition with anyone else. Remember that who you are and the journey that you are on is uniquely made for you, and that is something that nobody can dictate, nobody can tell you what to do, nobody can take away from you, nobody can make you feel ashamed about. And as you heal from these experiences that you go through, you will learn that it's okay to talk about them, that being vulnerable shows that you're healing, and that you are so strong for not only getting through those moments when you thought that you weren't strong, but that you are now here to talk about it and let other people know. This is honestly just talking to myself. When you can let other people know that they're not alone if they're experiencing it too. And I just want to connect with other people and let them know that they're not alone, because during that time, I really felt like I was alone, and I would love to do anything I can to let people know I get it, and I see you, and you are loved, and you will get through this. Thank you for watching, guys. This video was deep. I think after this will be a vlog again. I'm trying to mix in vlogs and sit down videos as well. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you liked the video. Comment below any other stuff that you'd like to see from me. And I will just keep posting and see my little channel grow. Thank you. Have a good day. Mwah, mwah, mwah.